the con of being ambition, and this is an ambitious person speaking with you. I've always felt like even when I accomplish things, I have not accomplished enough. It's not that I want more or I want more material things. I can't give a shit about material things. It's more like, have I reached that level? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next level? Can I surpass myself? And that can be very daunting. Depending on the city you live in, state or country, being ambitious can be a good thing, or it can see being as a bad thing. Here in the United States of America, you are encouraged to be ambitious. It's a capitalist society, and it's a good look. The American dream. You go out there, you work hard, you're ambitious, you take over the world. But some people differ from that type of thinking, and one of those people is Abba from Abba and Preach. So today, that's what we're gonna talk about. Abba is not a very ambitious person, but I am a very ambitious person. So in this video, you're gonna get the two perspectives from one who identifies not being an ambitious person, and yours truly who considers himself an ambitious person. And on top of that, the pros and cons of being an ambitious person.
I'm not a very ambitious person. And I think as a man, saying that out loud feels a bit odd, and there's a hint of shame involved. Well, I think I've just come to accept it. Some of you might be confused because you're like, yo, Abba, what do you mean you got a YouTube channel? You're doing all this stuff, you go on tour. But it is true. I'm not ambitious. And I know this because I talk to friends who are ambitious or other creators who are doing stuff and moving on to bigger things. And like, what are you going to do, Abba? What's next? And I don't know. I just kind of want to get better at what I'm doing and then just do a lot of the same but what I'm doing. And they're always a bit taken aback and they're probing as to why it might be. But the truth is, I don't desire just doing way more things. During the pandemic, I think all I did was YouTube, and it was extremely profitable. It was a huge growth spurt. I think we went from like 100K to, 2 million in the span of like a year and a half. But it was also like, I'll be honest with y'all, like the most miserable time of my life. All I did was work. I was working long days. I didn't see friends. I didn't see family. And even though I was making lots of money, honestly, my mental was just, it was in the shitter. And then now, post-pandemic, I promised myself I'd have a bit more balance. I dancing, skating, traveling, seeing friends, seeing family on a regular basis, and I just feel so much better. I feel like I look better, I feel better, I am better. My health, from the doctor's perspective, is just substantially better. So I'm happier here. And the thing is, I don't even have any regrets. It's not even this part of me that's just like, what if I? But I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel a bit of shame. And I don't know if this is more of a man thing specifically, but there's a part of me that thinks, yo, you're supposed to do more. You are supposed to rise to the top and do everything possible to get to the top shelf and expand on.
I want to post it right there. So in a way, that'll be a little bit of a contradiction, because although I get what he's saying, although he doesn't see the need, like he's not trying to be like, yo, I'm gonna take over the world. I gotta be the number one YouTuber. I gotta beat Mr. Beast for the number one spot. In the back of his head is like, but I do want to make it to the top, but I do want to do more. And I think that's a struggle, right? One of the cons of being ambitious. I think that's one of the struggles of any ambitious person, because I identify with that. Sometimes you feel like, am I doing enough? Should I do more? Should I reach for more? Should I aim for more? But also that comes at a toll from your mental health and your physical health as well, and sacrificing time with your loved ones. So in a nutshell, Alba, if you're watching this, you are ambitious. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you guys think.
Businesses and invest in that and make sure your portfolio looks like this. And I'll be honest with y'all, even though I feel that pressure every now and then, on the inside of me, I'm just like, nah, it's not. This shit not for me. And And it's not something I'm proud of or I boast about. It's just what I really feel on the inside. And I remember watching this Killer Mike interview, and he was speaking to someone else in regards to what everyday people sometimes look like and what they vote for. And he was talking about how like a lot of people are just fine with having their home and their family and their kids. And I remember that was like years ago, but just hearing that some reason appealed to me so much. Not necessarily having a farm or whatever, but just having like a really well balanced life. And so, yeah, being in North America, especially being, going to the States a lot and traveling there, you just feel this need to do so many things to accumulate as much wealth as possible.
Yeah. Specifically the United States, it brings that competitive edge. Like, yo, I gotta go out there and get it. But it's nothing wrong whether you want to have just a modest house and live a quiet life. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Make money moves or whatever it is. And I've never been that person. I just wanted to be kind of good at the stuff I do and to be paid half decent. And that's it. And this sounds kind of fucked up, but if my career stayed where it's at or even went a couple shelves down, I would not be bothered whatsoever. I already have more than I could ever ask for. A lot of the excess money I either hand it to family or put it to like charities or initiatives that I'm involved in. So for me, it's just like I'm good. I just don't want to do more. And also, I don't envy people. Like, this sounds really bizarre to say, but sometimes I look at Mr. Beast or I look at PewDiePie or even like actual celebrities in more mainstream sense like Chris Brown and them, and I'm like, I don't want that life. I don't want to come out of a restaurant and there's a bunch of people with cameras waiting for me everywhere being like, your outfit's fit, who you with, where y'all going, and just snapping pictures at me and like, I wouldn't want that. Honestly, I would throw away as much money as possible to get away from that lifestyle.
Yeah, I don't want the Chris Brown or the Mr. Beast lifestyle where you're so known that you can't even go for a walk. I mean, a lot of people yearn for that. I'm not one of them. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, we all define success is subjective at the end of the day. The only thing I disagree with what he says so far is, I give most of, and if I heard wrong, I apologize. I give most of my money to family and charity. That's all good and all. But at the end of the day, you got to have some type of money for yourself when you get older or when the views are not hitting anymore. And I've always been very like about giving money to family because once that money is gone, your family might change with you. But I don't know. I was Ethiopian. I know Ethiopians value a lot of family, but I just never been a fan to giving my family money.
But then there's the other side of me. Oh, and then also like if I look at Mr. Beast, like super respectful. What he's doing is unbelievable. And the philanthropy he does, all these things, amazing. But it looks stressful, like, in a way that I don't want for myself. And then I look at PewDiePie, who like reached such high levels, doing everything. And you see now he just wants to slow things down. I'm like, I think I understand or vibe with that a lot more than anything else. On the other hand, there's a part of me that's, philanthropic. I should be saying that while I'm talking about charity, but
pause.
I'm saying just, that wants to help out and give. And I feel this desire to want to accumulate wealth to be able to do a lot of that stuff. But the truth is, I also want to live a life I enjoy. And what it brings me joy is to do some stuff I like, seeing the people I like making time, forcing myself to do that. I've just never done it, ever, never. So I'm in a good place. I'm not ambitious. I think it's okay. And if you're watching, I don't think you're crazy if you feel similarly. And if you feel the opposite, that's okay too. I think there's different kinds of people for different roles. I remember being in the military when someone said something like an officer was being told this by a sergeant. But he said, listen, you might be a commissioned officer, but not everyone's made to lead. Some people are made to follow. While I'll follow your lead, it don't mean you're actually supposed to be there. And I think for some people, everyone's constantly trying to be the alpha dog and the leader of a pack. But it's like, if you understand social dynamics, not everyone can lead. Not everyone's built for every role. And there's nothing wrong with being one of the people who follows or one of the people who leads. Each of those roles are equally important. Well, I mean, I'm saying that. Each of those roles are incredibly important. So, yeah, we need ambitious people, and we need people who also want to just work hard and do what they have to do and live a good life. So that was my thought for the day. Yeah, I want to know about you guys. Do you guys feel that pressure to do more, to do many more things? I wonder if that's something that you guys struggle with or constantly have to contend.
You know, I agree with most of the things that Albert said. There's nothing wrong if you don't want to be, I gotta be a billionaire. I gotta have the jets, I gotta have the cars, I gotta be number one all the time. I need the fame, the money, and the glory. That's absolutely fine. I still think he's ambitious, but not the way the society or modern day a society defines ambition. I think he's an ambitious person because he does have a successful channel. He does think on the back of his head, hey, I probably should be doing more, but I also want to enjoy life. But Albert, if you're watching this, anybody watching this, it's easier to say that when you have a 2-point-something million subscriber base, you made a bunch of money, you're making 6 figures a month. It's easier to enjoy life at that point. It's easier to, when you reach a point like PewDiePie or Mr. Beast, like, hey man, I made enough, I'm good, I'm set for life or whatever it is, so I'm set for the next 20 years. Let me slow it down. But for the people at the bottom, I don't think this is a good approach. Let me explain what I mean. Not being overly ambitious as a man is totally fine, but lacking or not having any type of ambition as a man is terrible. You want to know why? Because a man that lacks ambition will suffer in life. A man that lacks ambition will not get to enjoy the finer things in life, even that so-called happiness that you're looking for, that peace. Because you can't have no goddamn peace or happiness when you're living under a bridge, when you're lacking the necessities, when your everyday life is a struggle to have the minimum. There's no man alive that would be happy with that. At least not me. Most men, you probably some men are, like the one I'm about to show you, because it was a comment in this video that really caught my eye. Let me show you real quick. Same video, and it says, I'm 33 years old, I've never been ambitious, and I'm quite lazy as well. That's bad. No man should ever be. I believe you don't need to agree with me. I don't believe any man should be saying that they lazy out loud or be proud of that or accepting of that. I've never been ashamed of admitting this. I'm very comfortable with the way I am as a man. I never let anyone dictate how she live my life. People often fall into this and give into the pressure from others telling them what they need to do. You don't have to do shit, just enough to live comfortably. Trust me, you'll be stress-free and happy. I know I am. I travel every year. Me and my wife do whatever we want when we want. You should do as much as capable and comfortable with because you want to, not because other people tells you have to. Never let anyone tell you how to live life. Never let your life according to anyone else's expectations, especially if you call yourself a man. Never compare your life to anyone else. You're not them, they're not you. Always try to live comfortable, stress-free life as much as you can, so that you can enjoy every second of those that actually matter in your life. And this is why I disagree with this dude. Like I said, he's 33 years old. He's fallen into this false sense of being comfortable. Man, while you look, and this is a person like me, where I have a little bit of money, I lost money. When you think you're comfortable, you never are gonna be comfortable. Now, I do agree with him. Don't let nobody dictate how you live your life. You want to live your so-called comfortable life, so be it. But it's hard for me to believe when you live in that comfortable life, meaning just not spending maybe a lot of money, or not working a lot of hours, that you can do whatever you want. In order to do the things that we want, for most of the things that we want, we need money. Like I said, it's okay if you want to live a quiet life, but none of us will ever live a stress-free life. We will always have something to stress about. And that brings me to the other point, the con of being ambition. And this is an ambitious person speaking with you. I've always felt like even when I accomplish things, I have not accomplished enough. It's not that I want more or I want more material things. I can't give a shit about material things. It's more like, have I reached that level? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next level? Can I surpass myself? And that can be very daunting to mental health. So I understand in a way this is not for everybody, but I also am not going to encourage a man being lazy, men underperforming, men operating at a low level, because those at the low level are going to live a low life, stressful life, and not a comfortable life. But that's just me. You don't need to agree. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. It's your boy Ron, and I'm out. Peace.